backstage. And we're live. This is Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. We've gone retro, Elon Musk style, Periscope. Tony D is in the queue.
What's good?
Brian TX is in the queue.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Mr. B is in the queue.
Hey, folks.
And we're adding to the stage now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Children of all ages.
millions and billions of fans. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bathurst is in the building.
Bathurst is in the building.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Bathurst, how
One of
are
a
you,
kind.
sir?
The
That's right.
cheeseburger guru.
That's right. Yes.
Hey, before we even get started, Mr.
Mhm.
Bathurst,
Yes, sir.
check your Gmail inbox. That's where the invite was.
It's okay. A couple of years of therapy, I'll be fine.
Oh my God.
Don't you worry about it. Don't sweat it. Don't do any of it. Look how clear you look tonight. So
Good to see you.
I want to ask you guys a question. This is insanely similar to Restream.
Yes,
Like
eerily.
so close, like you'd swear it's the same freaking company.
It feels like it's the same company, just with different overlays.
Mhm.
And they're like, hey, you don't like a Restream? Hey, here you go. Here's StreamYard.
Yep.
It's kind of like you can buy Heinz or Hunt's or ketchup. Do you guys call it ketchup or do you call it tomato paste? What do you call it?
Or
Ketchup.
catsup.
Stop.
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
I was going to do a show this week with a guy named Brian from Texas, but I never got a call.
apologize.
And then I told about 16 women he was going to be there, and then they're like, "Look, I want nothing to do with you. You can't show up. You can't show up. You can't be trusted." And I said, I'm sorry. I'm not, I'm not in control of this man. He's one of a kind as well. Misunderstood.
No, it's just this whole week has been very busy because we have our inventory coming up on Saturday,
Yeah.
and I've been working like 10 hours straight. I'm already at a little over 40 hours this week, and we're just at Thursday. So I had 2 more days of work to go.
Nobody's busier than Ted, and look where he is. He's here right now with us.
What are you talking about?
There
No
you go.
one's busier than Tony.
Oh, Tony's crazy. That's different.
Man, Rich was good.
Fireman Rich is in the building. Fireman Rich, you want to come on up?
Hey, Rich, what's happening?
Rich,
You missed a great guest the other day. So in the old football show, man. Hopefully,
I've been trying to get
his name.
Jim of Chicagoland to come on.
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown, good
Public
show.
speaking guru, one of a kind as well. He's a good guy. He's a good.
Shout
You know
out
what?
to Tim Brown.
He's similar to you. He's just not as tricky as you.
Shout out to Tim Brown. I appreciate him.
I want to take the Ted Hicks tricky course. I'm like level 1. He's master. I was telling Tony the other day, I was like, I would watch things and go, he got me. This was when I was on apps. He got me. I'm an idiot. I played right into it. Ted, well done. And
Right into what?
Oh, many times. We'll talk off camera. He's like, there's guys who play chess and they're like 19 moves ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like 3 moves ahead, and people don't even know that you were doing stuff or manipulating the room. They don't know. With me, I'm not clever enough.
Fireman Rich got you in the chat. Mrs. is asleep. Shout out to Mrs. Roberts.
Yeah.
He loves his wife. That's so
intricate
sweet.
part of Fireman Rich's morning show.
Absolutely.
I love when she gets mad at him. Yeah. Have you watched the Kelsey brothers at all? Their broadcast?
No.
New Heights.
New Heights?
Yeah.
I haven't viewed the last couple of weeks, but I have watched it. It's gold.
So Jason, he was asking for some of the treats, and his wife threw them at him.
Wow. Well,
she was so because she was trying to do candy with the kids and look after the kids, and he's like, "No, this isn't it," and she just chucked them at him. And
you know what it is?
Travis
I used to
was like, "I love
really,
you more."
I used to really watch it before the whole Taylor Swift stuff started.
She is one of the best things that's ever happened to football
That's good.
for growth. For growth.
Sadie, how you doing?
Sadie, what's good? How you doing? Lady?
Hello.
So can I link my networks on here like I can on the other?
Of course.
How do I do that? It's too late now, right?
Yeah, there should be an option where you could see like
Yeah, I didn't see
share
that
your
when it came
channels or
in.
something
It's
like
see
that.
where Restream would have done it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're always promoting here, folks. Thank you.
Always.
Always trying to give you the best products for the least amount of money.
Bonjour, Mademoiselle Sadie.
So, how's everyone's week gone this past week?
I've had a
Hectic,
great
crazy,
week. Wonderful.
uneventful.
It was good.
Supported. Mr. B, I love you, big guy. Even though you don't love me back, it's okay.
Nah, Michael, you're cool. You're cool.
You said I was crazy. I was off the chain or something in
You
the
are.
comments.
You
It's
said
all
you're off the top.
it's all real. It's all
You said
real.
you're off the top. That's
I
what
know
you
I was a trip. I said
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
off the
Yeah,
That bad this guy's a
It's
trip.
already off the chain.
And Tim's reading the comments going, why am I here?
Brian, how was your week?
Very, very busy at work. We have the big inventory day, and they're trying to make it seem like it's an 8-9 hour day. I am cutting it off because I have movie tickets for Saturday night, and I'm not going to miss it at 7:00.
What are
I
you
have
seeing Saturday at 7:00?
The Marvels.
The Marvels.
Okay. Any early expectations? Have you been reading any early reviews, or are you kind of staying away from it?
I'm staying away from it, because just everybody's going to be negative about it. I always go in with an open mind, and I just go from there because just people are people, and it's just whatever. But just something to check out. I mean, because I'm real curious of where the stage 4, stage 5, stage 6 of the MCU, where that's going to go, even though it's been a rocky, choppy water type of relationship right now.
Brian, can I ask you a question?
Rick
Sure.
Costa, good.
Okay. I was watching a show, and it had Arnold Schwarzenegger on it, and he was watching these two women doing that slap contest thing. He was actually officiating it.
Excellent.
And the first thing I thought of was you, and you should have seen his face. He was semi-horrified, like, why are they doing this? But you could tell, and then it was like, why am I here? It was all in his face. I wish we had the clip, because I know Ted be going,
I'm gonna make it worse. They got another slap contest that y'all ain't gonna believe this shit.
Tony, you look like you know more than you're telling us in life. It's like you're holding this big secret.
They're slapping each other's booties. As a
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
You seen
Yeah.
that? You seen that? Yeah.
Yep. It's up in Europe.
Yeah. Booty slapping.
Booty slapping contest in Europe.
Yeah,
Rick.
shit, we're raising the bar here, Ted. It's just getting higher, or is it?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know about it till I saw it on the Snapchat shorts.
I saw
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
No.
Well pun intended.
Brian, you see what Rich said?
Napoleon.
Ryan, did you hear?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm curious to watch Napoleon as well. I mean, I'm a history nerd, so I want to check that out.
Yeah, that Disney.
I hear Disney and Hulu will be joined together. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm not paying for Disney Plus. My best friend is. I'm on his account, and he's on my Netflix account.
So
So it's an even trade.
Y'all costing each other money. I get it.
So this is because Disney finally paid Comcast their portion of what they own of the Hulu app.
I think I did see it.
Yeah. So because originally I think Hulu was owned by Fox, Comcast, and Disney. equally, 33% each. And when Disney bought all the properties from Fox, they took over their 33%. So the final 33% was available, and it went for $8 billion.
I thought it was 800 billion.
Nah, $8 billion.
$800 billion.
But it was
Eight.
800 billion.
8
Yeah.
seems low considering Twitter went for 44, didn't it?
$8 billion for 33%.
Well, if you do math, that's still only in the 24 billion range,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm not trying to be an asswipe
8.6
here,
billion.
but $1 billion now is not a big deal.
No, it's not. You're
It's
right.
not
Right.
like amongst the rich.
Amongst the
in-
rich, I agree. I've seen
Yeah.
that. Yes.
I couldn't believe that anybody would pay 44 billion for Twitter.
Yes.
I-
yes.
44 billion for Twitter. You could see that being a good deal.
No,
As global as it is, yes, I can see that. That's actually a smart
I
idea.
don't see that at all. Sorry. I think that was
Mind you, Twitter's been around for over a decade. That's
Mhm.
actually small. Everybody's on Twitter. All the celebrities were up there originally, and then everybody followed them.
Do you guys remember MySpace way back?
We were talking about it in the green room.
Shout
Okay.
out to Tom. Shout out to Tom.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I said I was considering going back to MySpace.
Well, I want to tell you a story that's true. It would be just as entertaining if it
Rich.
wasn't, but it is real. So Facebook was approached by MySpace,
Mhm.
and they offered them $750,000 for it.
Oh yeah,
I think it's worth a bit more than that.
I think so.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, there was a documentary I saw on YouTube that was about the rise and fall of MySpace.
Yeah.
But you know,
And
I do miss the music playing when you open my page.
Brian, I have a question about your Saturday evening movie that you're going to watch.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So The Marvels is a sequel.
Yes.
And it's more of a team-up movie.
Yes.
Would you have preferred the sequel to Captain Marvel be a solo movie, or are you happy that it's a team-up movie?
I mean, the way it's presented, I mean, I mean, it's going along with the comic book anyway, so I'm cool with it. Like the Kamala Khan character that came out a few years ago to the Marvel's timeline, and then the other girl that's in there is Monica Rambeau's daughter. That was in the first movie. She was the daughter, a little girl, but now if you watch WandaVision, she's all grown up. So that brings the Photon character. But I mean, I'm interested. I mean, because there's that project of the Marvels, and then you have the Young Avengers coming up. If you follow the comics, where you got like the girl that play the girl to be young Hawkeye, then you got Elena to be like the next Black Widow, She-Hulk, so forth and so forth. So
Okay.
Female Avengers.
yeah.
So were we more excited for Captain America Winter Soldier or Iron Man 2? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So
Man, Winter Soldier, hands down. That's like my favorite.
But that was like a team-up movie, right?
Winter
With-
Soldier was good because he caught up with his homeboy, found out he was still alive. Iron
then,
Man 2 was a great sequel.
But also too with the Winter Soldier, that was when Steve Rogers finally understands like whose side does he really rely on, or who's he really trust?
Right.
Because now he sees the dark side, or the behind closed doors of how the organization works, and so now he's questioning his ethics, his morals. Like that's by far like my favorite as much as I love Thor, but my overall favorite out of the whole MCU, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Out of the whole MCU, oh, that's a great question. I will say the most impressive to me was Thor: The Dark World. I didn't think they could do any more with that character than the first one, and they blew my mind. That movie impressed me. Captain America: Civil War definitely was great. Opened up the door to a lot of the new characters. Ant-Man impressed me as well. I didn't think it was going to be as successful as it was compared to everybody else because of the powers they had, but they did a good job with the story and the plots.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can't lie. Quantum Mania was what I thought Doctor Strange 2 was going to be. And the Marvel Universe just, they have thrown me off but impressed me at the same time. They haven't really disappointed because a lot of us want the action. What's up, Carmen? Yeah, I'm gonna get the Black Panther in a minute. You just
Carmen's
hold.
here.
They're sticking with the comics, and Brian made a real strong emphasis. If they stick with the comic, they won't lose their fan base.
Right.
People hate when they change the storyline. I give you Wolverine and Deadpool before the Deadpool movie. If you didn't read the comic book, the first Deadpool is the one you was looking for.
Yeah.
But if you read the comic book, the new one was what everybody expected, and look at how much money it made. So they got to stick with the comic book. Now, as far as Black Panther, I got to go with Carmen on this one. That movie took me over.
Yeah.
You had to see, for anybody who doesn't go to movies or who doesn't watch the news, you had to see the impact that movie had after the anticipation.
Yeah.
You will anticipate a movie, but you will not expect it to be as good as that damn movie was. And y'all knew it to go because everybody everywhere was dressing up like that damn movie, like Coming to America.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
So Tony,
Yes.
if you and don't look and don't help him, I just want to. If you were to guess, what are the top 3 Marvel films for grossing, like the amount of money?
That's too easy.
Tell me.
Come on, Mike. That's too easy.
Tell me.
Endgame, Infinity War, and Black Panther.
No.
Go ahead.
You got 2 of them right. You got 2 of them right.
In Endgame and Infinity, like Endgame went close to damn near $1 billion.
3 billion, almost 3 billion.
And then
You're right.
Infinity
You're right.
War
Almost 3. What's number 3, guys?
It should be Black Panther.
Don't look it up. That's tricky. There you go.
It'll be either Iron Man or Captain America.
Black Panther hit $1 billion first. How would it not be?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah.
No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
So
was a really good
when
one.
does the easy kick in? So what's next after that?
Fireman Rich, yes, I'm watching Loki. I'm trying to get caught up. I don't want to talk about it because Brian's ready to spill the beans on it.
Ryan was talking about Loki in the green room, and Tony was having a fit.
I didn't finish it. And this joke is the reason why I got Disney Plus in the first damn place. Just don't let nobody catch up.
So
I haven't
Tony,
watched none of this season.
Tony, if you had to guess, what number is Black Panther on it?
It should be. If it's not number 3, it needs to be number 4.
Nice. Top 7.
Close. Number 6.
Who the hell's above Black Panther?
Do you want to know?
Yes.
So we said number 3 was Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Matter of fact,
go
1 through 6. Go 1 through 6, please.
Miss Marvel's gonna be somewhere there.
The
Shang-Chi.
The Avengers is number 4. The
Avengers.
Age of
Ultron was okay. Age of Ultron was decent, but the first Avengers was really good.
Age of Ultron was good.
This one shocks me after Black Panther. I would have never guessed this one. Number 7.
Shang-Chi.
Incredibles 2.
Because everybody was waiting on it. Everybody was waiting on Incredibles 2.
Rick,
but 1 through 6.
Carmen, and Fireman Rich have all said thumbs up to Loki.
Yeah, Loki's great. I'm on that.
The moment it hit 8:00 Central Standard Time, I was already on it.
Rich, I had the Bears. 1 through 6, Mike, please.
Again?
1 through 6. You didn't do it. We didn't do them.
Yeah.
You did number 7.
No, we did it before. We did it before. You were asking Avengers number 1, Endgame.
Number 2.
Number 2, Infinity Wars.
Number 3
is Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Number 4
The Avengers.
Number 5.
Avengers: Age of the Ultron. Is that right?
Ultron.
Ultron.
Yeah,
Black Panther.
Okay.
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2.
And number 8 is Iron Man. Which one?
2.
The first
Um,
one.
3.
3.
Number 9 is Captain America: Civil War.
Wow.
And number 10 is Aquaman.
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 Shang-Chi was better than Aquaman.
I don't know about that, Brian. That's a good call, though. I don't know about that. Shang-Chi was good. Shang-Chi was
Man, stop Asian hate.
good. I'm not. Black Adam should,
Stop Asian hate.
Black Adam should look
Man, I will beat him down with my chopsticks, man. I'm offended.
Oh my God.
Pie facing with a bowl of
Rich, I
fried
called
rice,
the
man. I'm
Bears.
offended, man.
You're silly.
No respect
Good
for the Asians.
Good
I
list.
swear.
Brian needs the floor, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get this over with.
Wait,
ladies and
hold on.
gentlemen.
I'm shy.
Nonsensical nonsense in the house. Black Panther's supposed to be number 1. It took over the world.
Shang-Chi.
You took over your
Doesn't matter how
world.
many times you ask Black Panther.
Shang-Chi
He
outta
wanna
here,
be
man.
in the top
Hey,
3.
yo, Jojo, you see this, right?
Where Wakanda, man.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
This
Bro.
field goal, Bears will win tonight.
I picked the Bears over Carolina. I picked the Bears.
There was no way I was watching that horrible football game tonight.
Why is that?
I think it's a 1-7 team going up against a 2-7 team.
Here's the thing, though. I love the underdog.
I
Who's
love
the underdog in that one?
They
Rookie
both are.
quarterbacks.
They both are.
2 rookie quarterbacks.
They both are, and it's pretty
Yes,
embarrassing
Rich.
when you
The
have
toilet
one win.
bowl.
Yeah,
you have
Fields
one-
wasn't playing, right?
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Fields ain't playing. They had the
That-
other dude.
No, there's something going on. I would
But
not be.
think
I
about
think
this.
there's a trade or something. That's my thing.
Think
Something's
about
going.
this.
Mhm.
If the Bears beat, which they will, the Panthers, they get the Panthers' first round pick for the upcoming draft.
Mm.
Can you post can you put
Yeah,
a screen
Rick.
up,
Yeah, that was
Rick
true.
After said
That's true, Rick.
Black Panther was so good, people thought Wakanda was a real place. That's a fact.
That is a fact.
That
Like
is
a
a
lot
fact.
of
Yeah.
it was so good that people actually
Rick,
thought,
you
like,
bogus,
yeah, man, I
man.
need to
You
go
know,
to
you
my
know,
pocket.
Can
have
I
this
ask a
conversation
question
with-
to the room, to a person who
Sure.
doesn't really watch Marvel stuff? I did when I was a kid. I did the comics, but what do you think it is in life that we live in the fantasy world so much so?
Imagination.
Is
Break from reality.
Is
Yes.
it a form of release in a way?
Yes.
Somewhat, yeah.
It is. It's
Yes,
imagination.
it's escape. Yeah. So
If you think
it's
you can achieve it, so people put their imagination to reality.
Yep.
Do you
Yes.
think that's the same reason that grown men watch people slap each other and also do fantasy football leagues?
I think it's the main reason you ask half the question.
It is a positive cognitive recalibration for all sorts of time continuum of cerebral cortex.
Mr.
neural
B is
lifetime.
Mr. B is laughing. What's going on, Mr. B?
You can't hear
You're a
me.
trip, man.
I got a question for Brian.
Yes.
Brian, a topic we've been trying to address for 3 weeks, but we're going to address it tonight.
Oh,
I'm shy.
Brian,
This one.
Oh, bro.
Americans do not trust the news media, Brian.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
Brian,
So to segue into my
Segue.
last if y'all followed me on Haps, my last broadcast was called Misinformation, What is Truth? And how that led up was because I had an argument with a friend at the time over the COVVs, so you don't get a strike.
Mhm.
So my question was, if I read, okay, gentlemen, if I read USA Today, Bathurst reads Newsweek, Mr. B reads the Wall Street Journal, Tony reads the New York Times, and we're all reading about the same topic, but you can see the biases. Who is more credible and who is more reliable to trust? Is it subjective, or is it?
Is it live or is it Memorex?
Bingo.
Do you want our opinion, or do you want us to
Yes. No,
agree with-
that's why Americans don't trust the news, because everybody, if you're trying to question it, it's misinformation, it's misleading, or we're stupid idiots.
I feel like you're spoon feeding me here a bit. So for me, I love watching the news across the ocean because they tend to be a little less judgmental.
I
Like
know.
the Australian news sometimes.
Sky News Australia, I love them.
You get, when I feel Canadian outlets that aren't owned by the government are good, independent ones. You realize though, Ted, we got a warning on stuff like this before.
Yeah, but we're gonna go. We're gonna go with this topic because we're not mentioning anything in specific.
Yeah, I got a little notice one time, and I got no strike. It's almost like if you dance near the fire, you have to expect your toes to get burned occasionally.
Right.
I like to walk along the lake and look at the alligator before he bites.
I think with what you're doing here is more like walking through broken glass with the hot coals with a slight fire.
Oh yeah.
So
Barefoot.
basically, a Gallup poll uncovered concerning trend. A record of 39% of Americans have zero trust in mass media, highlighting a crisis of confidence that spans across political affiliations. Brian and I have had many, many, many discussions.
Yes.
And we're not talking about left or right tonight, but we're just talking about the media. What you hear and see on independent media versus
Mainstream.
the mainstream top 5 stories. Brian, in your words, why don't Americans trust the news media?
Because now it's a lot of fear mongering. Because how do you keep people under control? By fear. So when you're like force feeding people are going to gag. But then afterward, when you have more information that comes out, now we're all looking stupid. When we should have just stopped to start. Like, people are scared to ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's more than the media.
That's
right?
overall. Yeah, it's overall. But the thing about it is, people are scared to ask questions. They just don't want to get hassled, or they don't want to get canceled, or they don't want to get judged. But it's
So Brian,
Lady Cat, how you doing?
Brian, I'm just curious what you're thinking here. I think people are more afraid now of the cancel culture.
Correct.
But by saying, the wrong thing, you can lose your job.
Yeah.
You can lose credibility. Like, how many times have you seen top tier announcers walked off, gone because of allegations, weird stuff? And it's slowed down a bit, but it was hyperactive during COVID. It was almost like another. Yeah.
Yeah, the tribalism. I mean, it's crazy. But the thing about it is, it's like, it's okay to have a difference of opinion, but everybody's scared to meet in the middle. They're really scared to meet in the middle, and that's the one thing I don't understand. It's like, people are going to judge anyway, so might as well just go ahead and do it.
Brian, can I ask you a question? Try to answer it honestly without getting us in trouble.
Sure.
Okay. Do you believe those in power, like the 2%, the highly influenced, the billionaires club, we'll call it that.
Right.
Do you think that they live in a far different world than we do? And I don't mean just by the freedom of choice to buy what they want, but they have a different mindset where we're expendable.
Yes.
We're just statistics on a page. We
Spokes
really
on the wheel.
We have no value.
We're spokes on the wheel.
Yeah, well, I'll find
we're more valuable dead than alive.
So, but you see how we're being slowly fed this. Like in Canada, they're talking about having universal income for certain people over a certain age, where you get a check. Yeah.
Social Security here.
Yeah, it's not that. It's different. And they're going to dictate if you can have a car in the future. They're going to dictate how many cars are made. I'm talking not next week. I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years. It's already in and they're going to have it where less is more. You don't need the big house. You don't need, we'll tell you what you need.
So you're giving them too much power.
I don't
So-
know. I'm just curious what the room thinks. I have no idea.
Well,
I
said, oh, go ahead.
I'm seeing things happen, and they're very methodically happening, and sometimes they get stopped, and we have to be careful about certain subjects that we talk about, and we can't associate things to being the flu now. It's wild because for a very long time there, many of the top broadcasters couldn't call things what they were. They called them something else. They had a
Right.
code
Mm-hmm.
because they would instantly be shut down.
Right.
Yeah. Or blocked. Sorry. Blocked is a better word.
I mean,
What do you think, Ted?
Hang on, I was sharing the show on Facebook.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea. You say I stir. Tonight you're this.
No. To get back to the guts of the topic, I brought this up only because Brian and I and a bunch of us have talked about this for the last couple of years about how this was turning the tide, and just to see where we've been over the past few years, and to see whether or not that tide is turning back somewhat. But I mean, it's really self-explanatory out there what has happened, what we've watched, and we see what happens in other countries and what is happening here. Now, I know your lens is a little bit different, Michael, because you get to watch all these stories that of things that are happening over here on TV, depending on what your go-to news channel is.
You know right now that Canada is at war with Facebook, and Facebook is at war with Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of news outlets. Our news outlets here wanted to be paid a certain percentage for the usage, and Facebook went, no, don't worry about it. We'll have it that you have no feeds.
Right.
So in other words, it was like, we don't care. Nobody's doing that, because if one stands up, they'll all stand up.
Well, it's also, Mike, it's about pay to play.
Right.
And it's
I thought Tony was going to leave there for a sec. That was too much.
No,
okay.
I mean,
okay.
We're also watching now on the platform that you guys are talking about earlier, X, formerly known as Twitter, that, they're tossing out ideas of, okay, how do we address bots? How do we address this? Maybe a $1 payment a year, maybe a couple of dollars a month. Hey, you want to pay for your blue check? Hey, before you know it, they're getting their 350 million subscribers. Let's just say they're getting 10%. Let's say they're getting $150 a year out of that 10% number. Why? Because what was purchased for 44 billion is now valued at 19 or 20 billion and dropping. So it's an unending fight that these type of companies have to deal with. And I'm not for, I'm not against. We've just seen earlier on All About the Joy, they were talking about friendships and online usage and how Gen Z seeing things differently from Gen X, from millennials, the overall use of the internet and everything else like that. It's important just to have an understanding of how we use it versus it's the resource for people, meaning, there's no fact checking, there's no this. Any average blogger could put anything up. They could build a WordPress website. Next thing you know, it gets hot. They post an article and it can go viral. Versus the days of legacy media, which no longer exists, where there would, you want to post this article or whatever like that, it has to go through an editor. There were checks and balances. But this is where we are right now.
Someone that I know in real life, her name is Amber Mack, posted something very weird about Elon Musk today. I don't know if you saw this as well, but and she's a trusted source. Like, she's not fake news. But it basically says Elon Musk wants X Twitter to be the center of your financial world, handling everything in your life that deals with money.
Yes.
He expects those features to launch by the end of 2024, he told the ex-employees during an all-hands, so basically an all-day meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And he is now going to implement a lot of AI tools for those that have the blue check mark. So there's going to be a lot of benefits. It's also going to be, too, if you don't have the blue check mark, you will not get the same traffic.
Correct.
That already happened a couple of months ago. That already happened.
Want to just address these comments real quick.
Sure.
Fireman Rich said, right now, what was 44 billion is now 33 billion. I heard Ted. Carmen chimes in. Well, I feel I've been summoned. Yes, you've been. Look, comparing trust in news to a time when we only had 3 networks back in the day is just wrong. The metrics are different now. Yes, legacy news is dead and gone, so it's different now. A girl named Toby chimes in. Hey, Toby, how you doing? Ted is exactly right. Checks and balances.
Yep.
Hi, girl named Toby. All right. So we chewed on this for a bit. Joe, do you have any comments before we move on to the next topic?
No, other than all this craziness with the news, man, it's gonna lead to a lot of pandemonium come next year. That's all I say.
I mean, we're already in a culture war already,
Yes, we are.
and we're in a political war amongst each other already.
Can we address that one, if it's okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Elon sounds like he wants to get into banking through Twitter. Like, you're going to do all your banking. Go ahead, Tony.
One word, summarize everything you're going to say. Crypto.
I was just about to say that. He's looking to boost the value all over again.
Crypto.
And
that's what he's trying to do.
Mike, I'm not being an ass. I'm going to be honest with everybody out there. You got to be blind if you don't see it. All this is going up to crypto.
Yeah.
And then
he's been pushing this for the past since he got the ownership. Yeah, there's a lot of folks. But you see, he's been trying to push the value of crypto up.
And Mike,
trying to get that banking going.
We had those conversations a lot on the previous platform a couple of years ago, right? I want you to understand all these businesses are going to find a way to make money. And if you don't think crypto is a way for them to make money, 24 hours a day, off of everybody, every day, y'all aren't paying attention. They quiet with the market, but the market's creeping. Y'all got to watch this. I'm dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you got to remember.
I've been kind of quiet about it.
Okay. Crypto's great, and I listen to you. I get it.
Yes.
But until crypto becomes like using coin,
that's
you know what I mean?
That's
what they're working on.
Yes.
But it sounds like he wants you to do all your banking in Twitter land in a few years.
You'll have control of all of it.
Because remember, he still owns Bitcoin. He has a
Thank
whole
you.
lot of
Everybody does
Bitcoin,
all their
We-
transactions.
and he's never
through Bitcoin.
letting go of it. He's
None of
never
them
let
We
go
are
of it.
Okay, but
we
we
are
have to be
really
respectful here of Ted's space. And I know Ted likes to put his toes in the fire. I get that. But I don't know.
Listen,
Have you ever watched one of those things where they have the hypnotist, right? And they get people walking and barking like a dog.
That's not watch a hypnotist have to get out.
That's Ted. You know,
I mean,
get out of here.
at the rate we're going, we're gonna be looking like Demolition Man in no time.
Told you. Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Listen, so we had an article on back in December 27th, 2021. What is Web3? What Elon wants to do now with Twitter, with Mike, with what your colleague mentioned earlier is correct.
I'm
He
sorry to
wants
cut you
to-
off, Ted. But
he
yeah,
wants to-
Fireman Rich is right there.
I just sent you the link to the article. It's on The Verge. If you ever
Yes.
want to read it, I'm just going to put it in our private chat. It might, yeah.
Web3 tweets would be uncensorable because control is decentralized. Web3 payment apps require no personal data and can't prevent payments. Web3 servers can't go down. They use Ethereum, a decentralized network.
Say it again.
Say it again.
Say that again.
Web3 servers
Mm-hmm.
can't go down.
Mm-hmm.
They use Ethereum,
Mm-hmm.
a decentralized network of 1,000s of computers as their backend.
Ethereum is the second greatest coin behind Bitcoin, and XRP is the third. Y'all better pay attention. I'm sorry.
So, it's aligned with what you're talking about. So it's not that crazy.
Yes.
No, it's not.
No, but here's what I want to just throw in the mix, and I'm not stirring the pot, I swear.
Yeah.
If you look at what a lot of countries are doing now that have companies, they are microchipping people's hand right in this soft piece here. So they put a chip in here,
Demolition Man.
Turn your camera on, Brian. Here we go.
Demolition Man.
and then what they do is when you go into work, you do that and you get in, and when you pay for your coffee, you go like this, and when you and it works.
Yeah.
But what's happening is they're cutting this out of people.
Mike, have you ever seen a video of the cell phone that's just supposed to be a hologram on your skin?
Yeah, I've seen that. That's cool. So Ted, if
And now we're doing upload too?
Okay.
Could he be concerned about the digital dollar? Elon is great at checks and balances.
Yeah.
Yes, he's concerned about digital dollar because you got to remember a lot of people also pay direct deposit. It only makes
What is this Web3?
Yep.
Ethereum is up 10% today.
Yes. XRP went up 50% after the SEC settled with that lawsuit that's been sitting there for 2-3 years.
Bitcoin this morning was up 35%.
This morning?
Yes, sir.
This morning.
Yes, sir.
And most of your cryptocurrencies outside of XRP, Ethereum,
Rich, I put the link in there for what is Web3.
Most of your coins do their transactions through Bitcoin.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Man.
This man is playing this crypto game since he made the purchase on Twitter. It's been crazy to see. And he's been low-key announcing these moves that he's made just so the crypto market can move. It's bonkers, man. This guy playing chess while the world playing checkers.
That's exactly what he's doing. Because while you're ignoring crypto, the big boys are playing it.
Yep.
They bought their shares already. All it has to do is go up a penny. They already won.
Hey, we usually don't do shout outs on here, but if we I definitely do want to shout out my favorite pre-6 a.m. live stream show, Fireman Rich's show.
Word.
We definitely want to shout out also glad to see Michael Bathurst is back in the building, doing streams all throughout the day.
Yep.
Nonsensical Nonsense owns the late nights. He doesn't own Thursday nights. That's the only night we're out here. And I'll be the boogeyman and tell you that. Nonsensical nonsense. Nah. What's up, Glick? Also, as if we didn't know all about the joy with Rick, Carmen, and friends. Also, we have a few other shows that are, that live stream throughout the week. Of course, Tony D, as previously mentioned, Mike Bathurst. The B-Sides. Big shout out to JoJo. Got to catch him Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's the best time to stream your show globally. And if I'm lying, just look at Mr. B's numbers globally. Just wanted to give that quick shout out. If you guys want to give a shout out to anyone, any shows that you've recently watched this past week that you haven't really talked about and you would like to share, I hand the mic over to you.
Can I say something? Is that okay?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sure,
So
go.
there's a gentleman that would love to be on the show. I talked to him today, and I'm forever trying to network new people.
Yes,
Mhm.
you are. Yes, you are.
And sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Some people are horrified forever and don't like the card tricks or the mind games, and I get it. And then a few years of therapy, they're fine. But I think this guy can handle it. His name is Coach Turby, and he is he's quite the character. And I was talking today about shows, and part of the reason he wants to is Tim came on, and if it's okay with Tim, guess what? It's okay with him, with a lot of other people. Now, Tim's audience is massive audience, but he's not in it for the audience. Like, he's in it to help people. Unlike Tony and I.
Watch yourself.
Watch yourself, brother. All right. I got my eyeball on you.
He's in it for the love.
He is. And I get Rich is in it for the love too. I don't think I think he genuinely wants to help people. You know what I mean? That Mr. B guy, I think he's more into the slapping than anything. But
I can't. Come on, man.
Power slap league, baby.
JoJo, respond
all
to Carmen. Yeah, respond. Okay, you
It's
got
me,
it.
Mr. B. That's what you can see, Mr. B.
Put the whole title up there so she can find it.
MISTERB.
Yeah,
I
but she
put it
probably
there.
won't be the only Mr. B on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you
At
put it all together like
MISTERB 86. There you go.
You gotta type that in the chat, bro.
I will do that.
Trust
sir.
me, if I put Tony D in there, they'll never find me. I'll try to look Fireman Rich up, and there's about 9 of them and 4 of them.
you got to type it all together like a Tribe Called Quest.
Exactly. You got to type the whole Left My Wallet in El Segundo, not just El Segundo.
so, Ted, I've left it in the private chat here.
Okay.
And I just want you to look him up, but his story is amazing.
Okay.
And
I'll share his Twitter handle with others so that even before the gentleman joins us, people can get to know him.
I do want to shout out Roger Simmons. He used to be with us. He just popped up. Roger Simmons does a little religious broadcast overnight. Big up to him. Shout out Roger Simmons.
Somebody doesn't have headphones, and I'm hearing.
That's me. I accidentally clicked on this stream on my phone. My bad.
Oh, and we forgot to shout out Rick Costa.
Rick Costa. Yeah, we ain't finished everybody. You know, I'll be.
Oh, we ain't finished. Okay, I was just starting off.
Yeah, we got 30 people that broadcast that we all know.
Okay, got it.
Straight up.
Well, you were in an electrifying show, a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was pretty intense. It got a little wild there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was just last week.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay. No, I'm being real. It was.
You can't help it. You can't help it.
We're doing a new
Rick
dance.
Costa. You got to shout out Jeeves
He's dragging the line.
on Twitch. You got to shout out Helen with her show, Helen's Mixtape, on
Shake it
365.
real good.
He can't help it. He can't help it. He can't. He can't help it. You got to shout out Roger Simmons, Roger's Prayer Room. He's on YouTube now. He does a prayer room every night with everybody. You got to shout out Badger Makes.
Yes.
You got to shout out Jeremy Stoltz. He does his thing on Twitch. You got to shout out C.S. Murphy. There's a bunch of people. A lot of us use the broadcast on Haps, and I know I keep hopping on the people of me tired of me saying it, but damn it, if you want people to like, share, subscribe, and follow your ass, you need to follow them too. I can't even watch TV anymore trying to catch everybody's broadcasts up here. I'm trying to be there and be supportive of everybody.
What about the young lady who used to do the art?
Oh, Des.
Des is on Twitch too.
Yeah, she's on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, she pops in occasionally and says stuff when Tony and I are on.
And let me throw this out there.
Yeah,
I actually owe an apology to everybody. I owe an apology to a lot of folks because as much as I was harping on people to watch each other, support each other, I can't catch everybody. Something else I realized. Everybody told me just do my own thing and stop worrying about folks. It's working for everybody else and it wasn't working for me. So you all are looking like you all are right. But what I did want to see or what I wanted to maintain was how much we were all there for each other and we had no loss being supportive of each other. I have to come to terms with everybody moving on. I do. But as long as you all know I didn't forget y'all in the first damn place. I actually did a broadcast called Amnesty Hour. I shouted at least 30 broadcasters because I made a list. I didn't realize how many of us were still broadcasting after the platform went down. Joseph Burke, exactly 5 man, Rich. I appreciate it. There are a bunch of us out there. Walt was on TikTok killing it, and now he's on Twitch doing his thing. Randy Horton's out there doing his thing. I'm all over the place. Bathurst is back. He's doing his thing. We are all over the place. How the hell do we not support each other and we're not sharing each other's shit? We're supposed to be our own network.
Yep, Jim is Chicagoland.
We're all interconnected, even though we poke fun and everything else. We genuinely care for each other.
I'm throwing it all the way out there. We're supposed to be our own network. Ted, yes. You might have to go expletive with this one. I know you may have changed it to grown folk status, but I gotta throw this out there. How the hell we don't support each other is bullshit. Y'all know every time we was on the other platform, we had at least 100 set of eyes amongst each other. And now we're trying to go somewhere else without each other and trying to make money thinking the world going to follow us. They're not going to follow us if we don't back each other up. We don't look
true.
United.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't look united.
Yeah.
That's right.
I agree.
And I'm going to go ahead and say it because it's been a year and a half. A bunch of y'all are too full of yourselves. I'm not. That's why I piss y'all off because I'm around every damn body. I meant what I said and I'm doing it. I don't care. We can beat each other's numbers. All of us should have 100 followers apiece. All of us. Just between ourselves. And all we got to do is share it amongst ourselves. You know how the rich people did it? They stuck together.
Yeah. There's truth there. Yeah.
They stuck together and they kept their family tight. Y'all can't.
Yeah.
I did my part. Let's go. Who is the hypnotist factor? See, now I'm going to have to go ahead and switch up. I don't know who you are. Why you starting crap? JB. I forgot about JB, your resident. He's on TikTok doing this thing. A couple of us on TikTok. Oh, Swift Beats. Swift Beats is on TikTok. Big ups to him. Big ups to Alexis Cando. She's on TikTok. She's still cooking. I still want the pancakes. That woman made some pancakes one morning. I could taste them 4 states. She is a beast in that kitchen.
Remember Mel, buddy?
Mel
from Australia.
Mel from Australia. She's always
supported us.
Yes.
Yeah. Not related to Mr. B.
Appreciate it, Costa. Appreciate it. No. Who else? Holistic Deb. She's on Instagram still doing her thing.
And TikTok.
Brandon Singleton. She's still out there doing her thing. Information Man. He's still doing his thing. Brother Shannon. He's Freedom Media. He's still doing his thing. Now I understand there's some differences amongst all of us as well. I got it. I'll at least check in with your broadcast. Bunch of y'all don't have your notifications on. People don't have theirs on for you. Now, if you got your audience and you're comfortable, I understand that because I was that way. I was sharing out on Hats, but my main audience was my Hats folks. My Facebook folks weren't really popping up. They stopped. Twitter folks was mainly a lot of people I already knew, plus people I didn't know who didn't follow. Twitch folks, mainly the Hats folks. Instagram folks, some of my Facebook folks. My main audience was my Hats folks. That's why I harp on that so hard. We were 200 eyes every broadcast. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, the other thing is too, if we can, you and I bridge quite a few people on Twitter Spaces, and if we can get them to come over here, and that's the connectiveness. Like today, I talked to Solomon, who's from Dubai, and this guy broadcasts all the time. He's worse than you, but I would love for you to meet him. You saw him briefly today in my show, but he would be great for us to have once a week up, and just
That's not a problem.
because I want to network his audience and our net. I think they
You know
call
what,
that
Mike?
they call that piggybacking. Did you know
There's a
that?
little bit piggybacking, but you're pushing a lot of Twitter Spaces folks the same way you're pushing Hats folks. I'm game. I'll do it. Nonsense, good nonsense. We ain't forget Glick. Glick, we ain't forget your ass. We've been talking about you for a year, so don't feel neglected. And I'm gonna throw it out there. No, you didn't say anything, but I saw your name pop up and I ain't mentioned it, so that's my fault. Don't feel neglected. We've been putting your ass all over the place.
Glick
And you
was good
you
with
got-
this.
you got
If you
no
look on the
sponsorship.
comments, you scroll up on the comments, Glick was good.
Yeah, he's got his sponsorships and he's got his audience, so he's good. Glick's doing his thing.
He does his thing, but he did get acknowledged, and he acknowledged us tonight.
Absolutely.
Hey, I do want to jump real quickly into Mr. B. What's happening in combat sports this weekend?
Not much. It's not gonna be a lot. It's just be a little bit. Mainly they got a couple little shows going on. They got a Cage Warrior show in London on Saturday. There's a KSW 88 show that's taking place in Poland. Friday, tomorrow, there's Game Bred Bare Knuckle live on YouTube. You can watch that. Bare Knuckle, Bare Knuckle MMA, where pretty much they're not wearing gloves. They're just gonna tape up hands somewhat, and they're gonna go out there and throw bear punches and kicks and all that other stuff in the mixed martial arts world. Headlined by Alan Belcher versus Roy Nelson, former Tough 10 winner, knocked out Brendan Schaub. He fought Kimbo Slice during that season, and a lot of other cool stuff. He's a big dude, but he got a super chin. A couple of veterans are going to be on that card as well. But the big headliner for the weekend is the UFC 295 card, which takes place over here in New York at MSG, which was supposed to be headlined by the GOAT, John Jones, but unfortunately, John tore his pectoral muscle. So, yeah, he was out. And his opponent, which was the former UFC champion, a former UFC champion, Stipe Miocic, out of Ohio, was supposed to face him to be undisputed champ. Both of these guys were planning on possible retirement after the fight, but Stipe, so John had to pull out. He'll be back in like 8 months or so, probably a year. Stipe said he's not fighting for the interim title. So the co-main event is now the main event, which is the current number one contender, Yuri Prochazka, out of Poland. Is it Poland or Czech Republic? One of the two. Versus the Brazilian, the former UFC undisputed middleweight champion, former two-division Glory Kickboxing world champion, Alex Pereira. They'll be headlining for the undisputed light heavyweight title. The co-main will be now a heavyweight interim title fight between number 2, Sergey Pavlovich out of Russia versus the man out of the UK, Tom Aspinall, number 4 in the heavyweight division. There's a couple other good fights on. Actually, no, there's a lot of good fights on that card. So the main card takes place at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN pay-per-view. The prelims are 8 o'clock on ESPN and ESPN Plus. The early prelims are on ESPN Plus and UFC Fight Pass. Top-notch action, super cool stuff. Check it out if you're an MMA fan. Also, there was some slight news. December 23rd, Our boy Fury was supposed to fight. Tyson Fury was supposed to fight our other dude, Alexander Usyk.
Right.
That's not happening. But from the Saudis, they're talking about having another event over there on December 23rd. No announcements on who's fighting, but they said they're going to get a whole bunch of fighters from around the world to compete out there. It might be another celebratory type event for Riyadh season. We'll see how that turns out. Other than that, that's it.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. B.
Oh yeah, one more thing.
I saw something that John Jones.
Saudis are plugged in. 2024, I think. Yeah, 2024. UFC is gonna have an event out there in Saudi Arabia, so that's gonna be cool. But other than the UAE, they're gonna have an event out big time, in the Saudi Arabia area, which is now insane because PFL is plugged into Saudi Arabia is plugged into the PFL and now plugged into the UFC. Nutty stuff, man. But yeah, that's it.
What's your take on countries like Saudi coming in here and sports washing and stuff like that? You okay? You're not okay? I mean, it's all entertainment. What's your take?
I'm okay. I'm okay to an extent.
Okay.
I'm okay to an extent. Because you're plugging yourself into markets. You're plugging yourself into what we would look at as, okay, you're plugging yourself into sports. That's cool. You want to bring these sports out there to the country. That's cool. But then you're also plugging yourself into the competition. That's kind of weird.
Right.
When you think about it. You will plug yourself into certain teams in certain leagues, soccer-wise. That's kind of weird because not everyone's quite the same. Not all the leagues are kind of the same. They're all united under soccer, but then you're plugged into certain different leagues. That's kind of weird. The UFC, you're working with the UFC, you're working with the PFL. Those dudes are competing against one another. And it looks like PFL has brought Bellator. They're waiting to see what's going to happen with Bellator. They're going to run Bellator. Your competition, you know what I mean? That's like me. That's like, all right. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say here is people beef about iPhones and Androids.
Right.
But you invested in both.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of mad.
So I have a unconventional follow-up question for you. PFL has made the purchase for Bellator?
Yes, they have.
And are they going to merge or are they going to run it as a second?
They're going to run it. They're going to run it as a secondary until the wheels fall off, and then they'll just absorb.
So it's going to be like an AEW ROH type deal?
Something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. That's really helpful.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, man, Rich, you ain't lying.
Question about this. I guess we all use LinkedIn.
I do. Yeah.
LinkedIn's new AI chatbot to help you get a job.
You know what, Ted? That's actually a benefit of the AI chatbot.
Mm-hmm.
I almost don't even see anything negative with this aspect of it.
Oh no. We just bring up topics.
No, you're fine, but I'm a little bit of a critic against them. I almost don't see anything negative with this one. A lot of times I'm very critical on it. This one, I think that's a big plus right there. That's the proper way to use it, in my opinion.
Tony, why are you critical with other formats? I'm just curious what you're spinning
with the
on
AIs and the chatbots. And Ted, I apologize to you.
No. It's good. It's good.
Anybody can make them. And it's the way that they're created outside of their original purpose. We talked about this a couple of months ago.
Skynet.
They're going to be a part of the business world, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And how it's created and how it's regulated is going to be very controversial for a while. I've already seen some of it in action.
I've been in some of the LinkedIn rooms where they have, a lot of these top execs talking about stuff, and you want to have heated, crazy discussions about AI. People are so threatened.
Yes.
You have other people who are embracing it. There was this really sweet girl, young, maybe 20 years old, and she was a digital artist. And what she would do is, for a very small fee, she would do your profile picture for you. She'd modify it, to make you a little younger or hip or groovy. They did that kind of with Elon. They had a whole bunch of different photos that they done. They shredded her. They literally shredded her. I had to go into it. There's about 3 or 4 of us that were like, she's just making a living. She's not doing anything illegal. And they're like, this is taking away from,
your soul. It's the same way that a couple of countries in the past, and I want to say over the Middle East, if you took their picture, it offended them because you just took a piece of their soul. With this, it's the same aspect. They can create anything about you like that, anything, and make it their way, anyway. That's the problem. But this right here, I put this on the lines of SAT. They'll take your SAT score and give you an estimate of what kind of employment you'll have. With this, you can take your resume. It can show you what kind of employment you can get. There's a similarity to it. So this can be good.
What do you think, Ted? I'm curious what Ted thinks.
So LinkedIn is purchased by Microsoft. Let's start there.
How long ago, by the way?
This is like maybe 3-4 years
That's what
ago.
I thought. It's fairly fresh. Is this?
Yeah, 3-4 years ago. So LinkedIn is a very helpful platform. I do notice the bots have invaded it.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by if you are looking for a position, and if you whatever AI or really depending on the keywords that you put in on your resume, you'll get calls from wherever, right? A lot of them are offshore. A lot of them, well, I won't say a lot. Some of the jobs are from offshore recruiters offering wages, some below minimum wage. So I see the positive in LinkedIn. It's great that this AI chatbot is built as a job seeker coach. Companies have been rolling out stuff like these type of AI tools for a while, but as in this article, we put, okay, while this tool is great, they're using their AI tools to cut positions in its own engineering department.
Yes, and you can write code with it.
Yes.
There's one thing we haven't brought up, and it's an angle that a lot of upper management is worried about, is this information is out there, which means that if you have the highest bidder, they can buy the information of the best employees.
Right.
Exactly. Without your permission.
So they can have access and know the hot buttons on how maybe to get them employed. And it's there's so much turnover in companies. It's massive. And if you can somehow figure out the people that will stay in the right environment, then they also sell that information, that you have your personal information, to all kinds of other companies. It's pretty intense. Now they'll go, that doesn't happen.
Ted, post Rick's comment, please. Put that on the screen.
I was just getting ready to. Like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. Depends on the user.
That's it right there.
Or depends on,
you could do a 3-hour show here, Ted.
Provider.
If you had this on LinkedIn and you had the right crowd, this could be a bloodbath for 3 hours.
Yes,
right. Crazy.
Yes, it could.
I've been in those rooms and where we had to go on to another subject, and I was doing stuff like, why don't we talk about what we're grateful for? And they're like,
I want to throw this out.
What are y'all talking about?
Carmen actually had somebody on her show elaborating on this a couple of months ago. And he broke
Yes.
it down pretty well. He said it was going to be there. There are
Mhm.
benefits. The original purpose behind them is fine. It's how they're being created ever since. As with anything we create, you have a good intention, but people manipulate it and twist it. That's the only controversy against. I understand its benefits.
Tony, you want to read Rich's comment?
Sure. IBM Enterprise AI Venture Fund will invest in current and future AI leaders that are helping businesses around the world realize the potential of AI for business. Rich, that is the absolute truth. There is an absolute potential for business, for the business world.
Yeah.
They cut costs exponentially with AI. I understand that fully.
yes.
So they're using these tools to reaccelerate revenue growth,
Yes.
because I don't know if we've all noticed, but when we see in America, we see Jerome Powell jump on TV and talk about raising interest rates 3/4 of a point, 3/4 of a point, 1/4 of a point. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to hold steady. He's talking about how it deals with the fact that we've had eight straight quarters of deceleration.
Increased interest rates. Yes.
But it's all over the world. It's not,
Agreed.
and it's really insanely bad in Canada. It's getting to a point now where people can't afford their mortgages. They can't afford the payments.
Right.
They're in debt to their eyeballs. Credit card companies love to have a balance where you're kind of floating, but you're not paying anything off. You're just paying interest.
You're just paying interest.
You're
That's
paying
what they love. That's what
And they're
lights them.
hitting you with 29%, upwards of 29% per month
That's
of
crazy.
interest.
That's
29%.
crazy. Depending on the
Read
card,
fine
right?
print, people.
Yeah.
Um,
I have a card
Mhm.
that if you pay it within 2 weeks, they give you money back. I've never paid a late pay, but I'm not in the boat that most people are in.
But
I can,
that's incentive. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the card that you had that has those type of incentives isn't given out worldwide, or maybe it is because a lot of people charge and then they don't pay back, and then they
Mhm.
get caught up in that finance game.
You know what they're trying to do with me now, Ted? Every month,
What are they trying to do?
they're trying to raise my limit.
Of
So
course,
I get to a point where it's uncomfortable for me to pay it.
yes.
But I have it at a limit that is comfortable, and they've been doing this now about 3 years. But that's what they want. They don't want you to pay every month. There's no money in that.
Right. No, there's no money.
They
They
don't want you
can't pull
paying a
any money
full.
out of your pocket.
Where
Fireman Rich says for Michael, it's happening in Canada because you can't use a Canadian quarter and a snake vending machine.
Yes, more voodoo talk from Fireman Rich. It's beautiful. Oh yeah.
Enough of the heavy talk. It's Bell Kings fantasy football time.
Yay. Yay.
For the record, before we start, I do want to throw this out there. Have you finished asking Brian those questions? Because I think there were two more you're supposed to ask him.
Oh, last night,
Yes.
the GOP.
Yes.
Oh, I apologize.
You've given me time, so I want to make sure he gets his, honestly.
Brian, your thought on last night's debate. I mean, we know what caught the soundbite, but as being someone that leans center right, who made a mark with you last night?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Okay.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, yeah, the one you told us about. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like his ideas. I do like it that he's straight to the point. There's no sidestepping, no tiptoeing around.
Wrong person.
I mean, he's just he's a fresh face. and we need a fresh face. I mean, me personally, I'm tired of seeing an old geezer up there. I mean, I know there's the Donald Trump loyalists, and then yes, I do understand. I do wholeheartedly do, but I need a fresh face. DeSantis, I could tolerate DeSantis, but not, I not on my voting board.
Do you think
Nikki
he's losing ground, Brian?
Trump
Ron
or
DeSantis.
DeSantis,
Yes.
yeah, he's
First
losing
thing out of
ground.
his mouth is Trump. He can't help it. Go ahead, man.
No. Trump is okay, but DeSantis, yeah, I think
Brian,
he's
can I
slowly.
ask you a question about politics?
Sure.
It's okay. And this is something that I find very puzzling. We have in power people that are in their 70s, and yet the normal population, they want you to retire at 65.
I'm all on board with that.
And yet we are letting people who don't necessarily have all their mental faculties together. And yes, you know what? I would have loved to have Trump in 84.
Mike,
Yeah,
I'll give you 88. I'll give you 88, 92.
when everybody was begging him to be president.
Yes, they were.
Word.
But no, I mean look, I know Trump is the front runner. It's obvious, but DeSantis is losing momentum. Tim Scott, I mean,
But Brian, why is Trump the front runner in your estimation? Why?
Because he pretty much, with the rest of America, he resonates. I mean, I know there's some that hate his guts which they have no reason to. Well, which I want to ask that question. It's like, for those that hate his guts, other than what you hear on the media, social media, what's the really reason? Do you guys really did do a deep dive on why y'all hate Trump, or y'all just going by like bandwagon? I think it's more bandwagon than anything. However, like Tim Scott and Nikki Haley, they're like yo-yo politicians to me. Like, on some things, I'm like, okay, cool, but then other stuff, I'm like, no, you lost me. But Nikki Haley just bores me. Chris Christie just really is a boring dude.
I think Christie's done.
Chris Christie's more of a yes man.
Been done, man.
He's done. He's done.
Yeah, Chris Christie's a yes man. Tim Scott, he has some good ideas, yes, but I think in due time he'll fold.
Do you think anybody can turn this around, though? Like any human being, can they turn this around?
There's no trust or faith in any other politician besides Biden and Trump.
And more likely,
let's just stop all this right now. I can't help it no more.
Everybody,
no Democrat than Biden. They don't have a stronger Democrat than him, and people tired of his ass.
Yeah.
There's no stronger Republican than Trump, and they don't even want him. We are screwed.
Basically.
Well, Biden most of the time looks like he needs a nap. He does. I'm sorry. He
or his
looks
diaper changed.
Mike, we're trying not to get this man flagged because we will go in on this, and I'm trying to keep Brian.
No, I'm not saying anything.
But the more you act,
I'm not saying anything.
The deeper he's going to go. And Mike, you don't know what you're doing. You've been out the loop for me. Let me tell you something. Don't get Brian started.
It's that bad? No. He looks tired. He looks tired to me. I don't think that's enough.
He always looks tired.
He looks tired. He's old.
You get Brian started.
Brian, Mike, I want to thank you for that topic. And it's time for Bell Kings Fantasy Football.
Oh, man.
Like Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, we ran out of time.
I got a 3-day weekend. I will give Brian 2 hours and let him
Republican, Democrats, Trump, and Biden.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
See you over there.
But I'm trying to get the why.
Mike, we have told you the why 4 years ago. You're stirring the pot.
I'm not stirring the pot. I don't understand the logic of it.
Okay,
Ted,
give me 2 minutes, please. Give me 2 minutes, please. The thing with Trump,
I'm being real. I'm trying to figure out why.
Trump is trying to change the way politics has been ran in the United States. They don't like it. Biden will actually play the game of traditional politics. That's why he's in office. That's it.
Yes.
All jokes aside, not being crazy, whatever. That's it.
Yep.
The other politicians coming in don't know the game the way those two do.
Yep.
And I'm giving all of you everything in a nutshell. Biden is old school politics. Trump is to change the politics.
And we got a great
we all need
slate of
Trump.
football games coming up, folks.
I need a young fresh
Sorry,
man.
I'm done. Okay, let's go to football. Let's go.
Over 65.
Chicago won. Chicago won by 3
Chicago
points.
did win. I
By
did pick
3
Chicago.
points.
I did pick Chicago. Let's go, Ted. I'm sorry.
I can't.
Let's
believe
go.
2 minutes is up.
I can't
Here
believe
we
it.
go. Here we go. Here we go.
We just got the man flagged a couple weeks ago, and y'all still gonna ask this shit. Let's keep it.
See, remember what I said last week? I said Mixon and Higgins were going to be key factors in that game. Who showed up? Who showed up?
Hey, Jamar
Shut
Chase
up.
did too. Don't be fooled.
Don't
Big
get
up.
flagged.
Higgins had the most yardage.
He did. Jamar
Yes, he
Chase is
did.
one of the catches he had. He ain't lost to Cincinnati's back.
That's what it is because they knew they were going to double up Jamar Chase.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what was going to happen.
He's still hurt, isn't he, right now?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
hurt. He's got a back problem.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What does it take after looking at this upcoming week's football slate of national games?
hmm
So we had, I don't know, I didn't watch tonight's game.
Mhm.
Protest.
We had Sunday's night football with the Jets and the Raiders. We have Monday the Bills and the Broncos. And granted, these could become great games, instant classics. What does it take? We know that after week 5, the NFL is able to flex out specific games.
Mhm.
What's your take on the hesitation? And don't say it's about the fans because it's not about the fans. Because I can tell you stories of when I've gone to games and they've been flexed from, one specific hour to another one.
Mhm.
From the early hour to a late hour.
Mhm.
Right.
But what is it this year? I mean, I know that Fox being like a NFC brand and CBS being an AFC brand, what is it? What is the hesitation with the flexing of games? Is it too early? Is it?
It's too early.
It's too early.
It's too early. Yeah, we're not quite there yet. You're starting to see patterns. That the sad truth is, though, most of the teams that are doing well are the teams that you thought would do well at the beginning. It hasn't really fluctuated that much. There's no huge change. Like if you look at the top 6 teams, they were the top 6 teams. We thought, go ahead.
The Texans are the biggest change in the season this year. Nobody expected them to be where they are except for the preseason games.
Well, yeah, but that was the best choice, though.
Same with the
right?
Lions. Same with the
The
Lions.
Lions are doing what people want, and they was expecting with their roster. So
Yeah.
the Texans, I think, are the biggest surprise. I think we talked about this too. They might be the biggest surprise this season.
Yeah, because
Oh my
with
God.
the additions of CJ Stroud
Oh,
and,
he's the
and
man.
linebacker. Yeah, CJ Stroud
Wow.
after last week's game, that right there is a first ballot for Rookie of the Year,
Yes,
hands
he is.
down.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I talked about this on the show, and people said it was a little early, and that was before the game for him. But he was supposed to be not mentally. I'm not gonna be nice.
His football IQ. They were questioning his football IQ.
They were questioning his IQ. Sorry,
So
which is really disgusting if you think about, and you know what that is.
So
Disrespectful.
what was it like the Wonderlic test?
No, it wasn't the Wonderlic. God, I love that title. It wasn't that one. It was a different one. But we're going to start a new series called that. Yeah.
Fireman Rich was talking about Jacksonville. He brought that up. Brian has been right about Jacksonville so far.
Girl named Toby is correct.
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift owns the NFL.
That movie
She
just
does.
came,
She
that
does.
movie just came out.
You're shaking your head, Tim, but they got an audience they would have never got.
Yeah.
They have sponsors now they would have never had.
They got
They've put the Kelsey family on the map.
superstardom.
It's he was it's
So-
Jason, right? Jason Kelsey was
Mike, I have
considered.
one question for you.
Go ahead.
Question is,
About my sanity? Okay.
no.
Okay.
It's about the NFL and about the merger with Taylor Swift Inc. Is the NFL selling any more pink NFL jerseys
Jesus.
prior to the merger with Taylor Swift Inc.
I
during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
That's what I was going to add. Okay. I was going to add that.
I don't know the statistical evidence of that, but I can tell you this about her. There is no amount of money that you could throw in advertising that will give you the instant pull that she has. Like, you
Right.
have individuals that can't stand football. They're watching it in hopes to see her in the stands. You have people in the stands spending the whole game looking to see her in the press box, not watching the game.
So
Yeah.
the whole thing is with this sport and even with college football, the celebrity is bringing in their money. I'll give you Deion Sanders with Colorado. We got Taylor Swift with the NFL.
Yeah.
The celebrities bring money to the sport because they got to find a new way to gain revenue.
But
All right.
they have all these women that don't know the rules of the game.
They're gonna
They're
for the
Sa-
sake of Taylor Swift.
but here's the question I want to ask
Go
you
ahead, go
guys:
ahead.
is are they going to get married? Do you think?
No,
Let me finish this season. Don't start that craziness.
Yeah.
no.
And is Ted going to
be?
be the best man? That's what
Travis Kelce was asked about the relationship. He's not speaking on it, so I'm gonna leave it alone myself out of respect.
And he shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Whose business is that?
I think, and Mike asked me this earlier on his broadcast, which game would draw the most attention to me? I'm going to go with the Lions and the Chargers game. It's probably going to be the best game this weekend, as of right now.
Lions
Yeah,
and
do
Chargers.
you know what game I'm excited to see, and I think Mr. B will too, because he likes violence, is the Ravens and the Browns.
Oh, the Ravens
Yeah,
and
it's going to
Browns.
be hard.
Wow.
Toby,
Yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
to agree right now. She looks like the smartest businesswoman in the world. She does look like that. I would have to agree.
That's gonna be a hard
He's a
hit.
billionaire now.
The Browns are gonna it's gonna be dirty.
The top three, I'll say, yeah, Browns, Ravens, probably the 49ers, Jaguars, and the Texans, Bengals.
I talked about the Jaguars at the beginning of the season, and people were saying to me, Michael, please step away from the pipe.
I kind of told Brian that too.
Yeah, you need to step away from the pipe.
And Mike, we talked about that on your show too. There were better teams in their conference alone, as far as Jacksonville. Because I can't put Jacksonville above Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and right now Miami.
Brian, what the hell is wrong with the Chargers?
I wish I knew, but if they keep running the ball, I am good because I need the points with Austin Eckler.
This dude.
But you guys you guys trash talk the Commanders, but they
No, I did not.
Yeah, I had to toss Higbee away, man. I picked up the Commanders tight end because
Logan Thomas, Sam Howell.
My boy Higbee from the Chargers, he's not doing it, man.
Sam Howell on another team would be a superstar.
Who?
Sam Howell.
Ted, you got that in the comments?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the comments. I do have, before you answer that Sam Howell question, Mr. B. These top three games, I was told they're in the 1 o'clock window.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and I could be wrong, but I'll know more for next week, or excuse me, we'll know more for Sunday for Bell Kings. If your game is in the 1 o'clock window, you can't be flexed to Sunday Night Football. But if you're in the 4 o'clock window, I think you can be flexed. Does that make sense? Or am I just like, are you guys like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyone have any knowledge on that? On how the flex works?
Not pertaining to football, no. But I know about the flex. Yeah.
Sometimes it depends, I guess, on what game they kind of.
I'm not sure what you mean by flex because all I could think of is all the teams are getting airtime.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
all I can
I
think.
guess,
All
I
the
guess
teams.
they'll
And
highlight like
I talked about this last season. They're making sure every team gets the same spotlight instead of the same team getting it all the time, because that's how you got a whole bunch of Steelers and Cowboys fans. It was always primetime football.
You know,
Right.
the one thing that's a little disturbing with our broadcast that we're not talking about, how good the defenses are this year.
They did.
Yes.
for
I spoke
sure.
How good the defenses are.
For sure.
Like shockingly good. Even New York, okay, the Jets, shockingly good
The
defense.
defense has been good for years. They just haven't been getting the
The
media
Steelers
coverage.
defense, shockingly
Yep.
good,
Steelers
right?
defense improved, yes.
The Browns,
Eagles.
shockingly good defense.
I
Ravens.
think, and that would be Glick's world. Glick, I think you talked about that last season, something about their
Yeah.
defense. I forgot whether you had a problem with it or you were good with it, but I remember we speaking on it before.
Kansas City, if it wasn't for the defense this year, they
Had to
would be
improve.
up Schitt's Creek.
And we spoke about that a couple weeks ago. They had to improve. They had to catch up with the offense.
They don't have enough weapons. I've been saying that since the
Who?
beginning. The KC?
Defense?
No, not defense.
Offensively, yeah.
Offensively, they're very B grade. I'm sorry.
They're kind of weak. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
They're B grade. I'm
Mike
sorry.
has a point.
Hey, I'm gonna get these comments in.
No, Michael has a point.
Fireman Rich says the love story between the NFL and Taylor Swift may be ending. A poll by American Survey, powered by What If Media, polled 16,000 random people living in the United States last week. The results show that nearly 90% of NFL fans polled want to see less coverage of the relationship between Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs tight end.
There ain't enough people.
Kelsey.
There ain't enough people.
Yeah.
The group's results say it's not just men who want the cameras to stay focused on what's happening on the football field. The data shows there is only a 1% difference between men and women who report Taylor fatigue.
Because they
So
want
the
to see the
key-
I
game.
love that
key
term,
takeaway,
guys. Isn't that a great term?
Taylor fatigue.
Taylor fatigue.
I got fatigue from the Taylor.
That's only because the women trying to see themselves. They want to look at the dudes. They don't want to look at her.
So, and I would just, I don't want to steal your show, but I'm just really curious in the room because I value
You don't?
your opinions. Not today. I'm too tired. I've already had 3 shows today. Too tired. I'm too tired. Yeah. On a normal night, yes, but not tonight. I'm just curious why this year, more than I can ever remember, there is such an insanely amount of good defensive teams to the point where it's becoming lower scoring games. And the other thing that's really strange that you're not talking with someone, I'm going to call Casey, and I don't mean the Sunshine Band. Casey right now has the same problem Miami has. They're doing really well with teams that are under 500.
I've been hearing that, yeah.
Yeah,
But if they play any team that's above 500,
it's a
they're
loss.
really
Or
tight.
it's a struggle.
It's a struggle. There's very few points, and it's becoming more and more of a kicker game. And the teams that don't like and interceptions, right, and run backs, and like, God, some of those guys are fast. Those little dudes. I'm putting Ted into a coma of boredom. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
No, it's not. Because I immediately thought about, remember before this explosion happened, let's say like 10 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, when a quarterback, his numbers for the season would be 29 touchdowns. And this is over a 14 or 16 game season.
Oh, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, where did that go?
Where did that go? 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And they're like, he had an MVP season. And then all of a sudden, these guys, the defenses got more lax, more zone, more this, more RPOs. And it became, hey, throwing 50 touchdowns is the thing.
I'm going to ask
Throwing
Brian.
for 5,000 yards is the thing.
Brian, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, Brian. And the running backs now, they're fast, right? They're as fast as they've ever been.
Yes.
But the linemen now, I think, are faster and more athletic than they were 10 years ago.
The offensive line now, they're now catching on what the defensive line has been doing the last few years. Because remember how back in the '80s when we're all growing up, like you got guys that are just really big boulders, and then sort of like in the mid to late '90s, you
Are
only had
you talking like power backs? Is that what you mean? Like
no, like the offensive linemen, how these guys are like big,
right?
burly, like big boulder men,
Mm-hmm.
and now and the same thing on the defensive side. So basically, you have a wall on each side, but now I think if I remember correctly, then you had guys like who I idolized when I played football was John Randall,
Mm-hmm.
who was a stocky juggernaut kind of guy, but he came in,
Minnesota
busted her.
Vikings.
Yeah, so when his guys like his size started coming up being like defensive line and they saw how effective they were, strength, agility, size, and that's when more and more start catching up. Then you start getting guys like JJ Watt, Julius Peppers, all the other defensive lines that are getting that are like bodybuilder type guys
Yeah.
being on the line, and now like the offensive line, like they're getting stronger and stronger, and now they're starting to become like juggernaut bodies versus big boulders, where they get like 5 steps and they're out of breath.
Can we do, Ted, before we go so you don't fall asleep? Can we do like a little speed round? And can we do a little speed round?
Speed round of what?
I'm gonna say a team. I want everybody to just say 3 or 4 words about that team. Can you do that without going? Is that possible? That we can
Yes.
all just
Yeah, I think
okay.
you
Here
can
we
do
go.
Why not?
Okay, Dolphins.
Must watch.
Biggest threat in the AFC right now.
Chiefs.
Currently a fraud.
Okay, can we keep it to like 5 seconds each? We're gonna
Versatile,
Can,
man.
can you let us answer?
5
Versatile.
seconds. You get 5 seconds.
Versatile. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 words of each. That's it. Can you do that?
Yeah.
You did it.
No, you didn't. You just told me he needed more time.
You said Kansas City Chiefs.
I think this is more entertaining than the topic. Okay, here we go.
I said currently a fraud.
You are good. Chiefs.
Slowly
Overrated.
declining. Slowly declining.
Team to beat.
Has been team.
They getting by.
On a governor. Not fully doing their job right now. Okay. How about the Ravens? Oh, I like them. Ravens.
Powerhouse hitters.
Upstart team.
Need to win more playoff games.
Old school mentality.
The Lamar Jackson show.
Underrated asset. Okay. Here we go. Next. Steelers.
Don't trust them yet.
Me neither.
Slowly on the climb, but not very far.
Let's go pick it.
If I was to guess a team that would probably watch the Slap Awards, it would be the Steelers. Okay. Next is Bengals.
Super Bowl contender.
Joe Burrow is awesome.
Back on
Wild
track.
card.
Back on track.
Wild card.
Ooh. Dallas Cowboys.
On the come up.
Pretenders.
On the
And
come
I
up for a
quote
while.
Stephen A. Smith, accident waiting to happen.
Mr. B.
Wait and see. Just wait and see. That's all I'm saying. Wait and see.
Dak Prescott has to go. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Colts.
On the come
On
up.
to next year.
Over 500.
Brian.
Think we lost Brian.
Watchful eye.
Oh, there we go.
No, I had to think.
Mr. B.
I'm going to say quite improved. Quite improved.
Okay. Raiders.
Don't trust him.
Fired up organization.
A mess.
Brian.
We have a mess in the kitchens. Please Gordon Ramsay.
I'm going to say players have too much power. Broncos.
Russell
Rebuild.
Wilson Inc.
Rebuild.
Oh, man.
I have to agree with rebuild.
Okay.
Broncos, let's ride.
Honestly, what I think, 2 or 3 pieces away from being good again.
That's fair. That's fair.
2 or
Yeah.
3 pieces. That's it.
That's fair.
Texans.
Surprise of the season.
On the rise.
Surprise of the season.
Yeah.
Love what I see.
MVP.
Stroud,
CJ
baby.
Stroud.
Rookie MVP for
Yeah,
sure.
on the rise for sure. On the rise.
Okay. Jets.
Same old Jets.
I stand by what I said before the season started.
Which was?
I'll be surprised if they maintain 500.
Same old Jets.
Eagles.
NFC
on.
standard. NFC standard. Go ahead, JoJo.
I'm gonna say something about the Jets. I think they have an improved defense.
Yes.
You got to work the offense.
Mhm.
Quarterback help.
Yeah.
Eagles, Super
Eagles?
Bowl bound.
Plateau.
I like that, Brian. I like that.
Injury prone. 49ers.
Ah, boy.
Super Bowl
Decline.
contender.
Brian.
Decline. On the decline.
Ted.
Overachievers.
I'll say contenders.
Misunderstood. That's what I think. They're very misunderstood. Commanders.
On the rise.
Blah.
Troubled children.
Work in progress.
Disrespected. Lions.
Surprised.
Gotta win a playoff game.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
On the incline.
Vikings. What a story. Holy shit.
On the decline.
Disagree. Totally.
Plateau.
Totally disagree.
Rich said the Commanders need Riggins back.
When it comes to the Vikings,
I think Dobbs is going to do great things. I really
they're
do.
there. They're there.
They're another team that are missing just a couple pieces.
Yeah.
They just got rid of him.
Thielen, Dalvin Cook.
And now Kirk Cousins is hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do one more team, and we'll call it a day, and we'll let Ted go for some deep sleep and talk to the Angels, and I don't mean Charlie's. Okay.
We miss Cousins. Yep.
Seahawks.
Not looking good.
Wild card.
Not looking good at all.
Well coached.
Yeah.
Legion of Boomless.
Ooh, well said. Okay, can
Bruised.
we do gratitude? Or can I do one more? Actually, is
Damn
that
it,
okay?
Mike. What is it?
I'm gonna say bruised for Seahawks. They bruised, man.
Just one more.
All right.
Is that okay? Buccaneers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Buccaneers.
Not what they used to be.
Ah.
Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. No Super Bowl this year.
TB 12-less.
Let Evans leave.
Wow.
Baker Mayfield.
Join the XFL.
Not a believer.
Damn, Brian.
What he said?
He said join the XFL.
Join the XFL.
So, where do we go from here, Ted?
I think we covered everyone's topics. Everyone's was. We talked. We pulled down Belt Kings, and we
Good
are
stuff,
getting
Mike. I
ready
ain't gonna lie.
to.
Good stuff though, for real. That was.
We're getting ready to wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
Can
one more
I do a
thing.
little gratitude here for Tony for what he did earlier? Just
sure.
talking about the connectivity of all of us and how we all work together. You know,
Of course.
even in in this room, Mr. B, I know has deep love for me, but isn't sharing it, and that's okay. And I reciprocate that love, Mr. B, and Brian just I think hides from me, but that's okay.
What?
What?
No, I've been busy. I know. I agree to things. I'm starting to become a Blue Falcon.
Yo, this guy's cracking me up for real.
Yeah, don't call me a Blue Falcon.
So wait. So explain before we go any further. What happened between Brian and Mike? Like, did Brian like not show up for a show or something like that? Or
He was no show Brian.
I agreed.
Oh.
Yeah, I agreed. I agreed to come on Tuesday night, and I got off of work late. And when I got off of work late, I was
Random Rick, how you doing?
My brain went to mashed potatoes, and I completely forgot.
Listen, if you fell in love and met a girl, I understand. Like if you fell in love and you met a girl, I get it. I get it.
So, okay. I don't know where we go from there.
Well, now that it is, I guess it's 12:03 your time. Tomorrow, well, Friday, ladies and gentlemen,
There we
say
go.
thank you to a veteran.
Yes.
Because it's Veterans
Thank you, Tony
Day.
D. Thank you, Fireman Rich.
Oh, yeah, veterans. Happy Veterans Day.
And then also, too, it is the United States Marine Corps' 248th birthday.
Right.
So, salute to all the brothers and sisters in uniform.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tony, thank you for your service.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and now the Space Force. Straight up.
Fireman Rich, I'm guessing he's going to do a special broadcast on Friday for Veterans Day.
Fireman Rich,
we won't hold him to it. But
y'all set y'all long. He's going to be up for 2 hours tomorrow. Watch.
Yes.
So Ted, where do you get the fortitude, the strength to keep doing what you're doing? Like you've been doing this for a long time. You've been on YouTube for a long time doing this.
I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy this. I enjoy the whether it's solo or the togetherness. I just enjoy it. It's just for me, unlike with others, and I've explained this before many times, this is a hobby for me. I like to do it. So I'm not looking for the $2 billion contract or stuff comes in ebbs and flows, but I like to do it. And it's like, yeah, this is fun.
It's a release.
This is recreation.
And it's a form of community for you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So, and that's how we kind of I kind of look at it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I appreciate everyone that comes on here.
Yeah.
And does this because they don't have to.
Yeah.
But and we enjoy the interaction and laughing and not taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And knowing that, hey, we're going to be analysts and we're going to talk about technology, or we're going to talk about kids, and we're going to talk about this, this situation that happened, or that culture
Yeah.
situation that happened, and not take yourself too serious and get all worked up and, carrying on and cursing out someone and stuff like that. I'm like, so that's what kind of does it for me.
Yeah. I had a reminder this week of how short life is.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that lived down the hall from me, and he's an older dude. He was 80, I think, or in that range. And he had a younger girlfriend a couple of years ago, and he seemed a lot happier. And then one day I saw him and I said, "Hey, where's your lady friend?" He goes, "She's in the nut house." And it all kind of fell apart after that when he didn't have her anymore. And
Oh man.
and I saw his stuff today out by the dumpster. That's what happens here. And got people looting through stuff, but it goes to show you we have a short period of time here. And if we can have fun together, and we don't necessarily have to do mind-blowing content, as long as the exchange of energy between all of us is good and we're patient with each other, especially Mr. B with me. If he can be extra patient, I would appreciate that in the future. Think of me as that guy down the hall.
He's not the only one.
Oh, you know what? Tony, and so many times I know has not wanted to get up or do something, but he'll do it.
Right.
He'll do it. He'll be half awake, but he'll do it because he's like, Mike's out there on the raft by himself. So I'm going to go out there and we're going to try to make this entertaining. And today was funny because Solomon was on from Dubai, and it was so effortless, like it is with Tony D.
Your conversation with him, absolutely.
Yeah, it was effortless.
Absolutely.
Like, Brian.
Tony, can you read the comment
Brian's
from
talking to a girl or something. What are you doing?
Oh, that's right. I don't have to stay up and watch Late Night Parents. I should be in bed sleeping.
Back to a message
here because you all are a great bunch of knuckleheads to listen to. Fun factor, all about the fun factor. Absolutely appreciate you, Rich.
Can we look up the meaning of knucklehead? I'm just curious. Brian.
Yes.
If anything, unless you weren't listening, if anything I just said, did that?
I appreciate you, Mike. I would not throw your stuff out.
Anybody who is in trouble, hasn't been listening, that is an incredibly intelligent answer. The other thing you can always say is, honey, I don't know what I was thinking. I must have been drinking, and I won't do it again. Those all work too.
Not for every woman.
Not for... That's another show.
Oh man.
That's another show, right? And you imagine the women that would come up. That's what Solomon does. He does these topics about relationships between men and women, and it gets crazy. The screaming and the what, like they don't pull punches in Dubai. They just go. Like even I was incredibly.
The Middle East.
I was incredibly uncomfortable.
Traditionalists.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, that's calm. That's nothing." He says, "Wait."
Random Rick, thank you for the like. Appreciate you. Thank you.
So, how can we make this situation for you, Ted, better? What can we do to support you?
Nothing. You guys are doing it. What are you talking about?
Doing it and doing it and doing it well.
Come on.
You see my face.
We are at almost the witching hour.
We are.
So we got to do a round robin.
What does that mean? What's a round robin?
Round robin. Where to find you?
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay,
and
I
we
get it.
gotta bring this thing
The
to a
last
close.
the final.
I really feel
lap
like I'm
around the
pushing
track.
you in a wheelchair through a garden with these questions.
You will be there. I know you
Oh,
will.
man.
You'll put a little blanket on me with my wheelchair.
I'm
I
getting
know
a
you will.
motorized solar panel wheelchair so I can change gears.
Yo.
Brian, where can we find you?
You can find me on Discord at Thailander713, and you can find me on Snapchat at Amaration Juggernaut.
Mr. B, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter. Mr. B. Well, New Year, same B at Mr. B 1986. Check my tweets and retweets. Drop a DM and say something. Whenever you're trying to look for fights on the weekend, I'm on this app called OK Live. It's a confusing app, but it
Very
works.
confusing.
But it works. If you're trying to watch fights and hear my commentary, go ahead. I'll be there whenever fights are going on. I'll be there this weekend for sure for UFC and all that. Yes, indeed.
Mr. Michael Bathurst, where can we find you, sir?
Yes.
In the Palladian star system, when I am flying amongst my fellow angels, you can find me in all the realms that most human beings can't be in. But if you want to see me on platforms, TikTok, I'm on there. I'm also
Children, get this dude,
on
man.
Twitter,
I fought for
YouTube,
this.
and Facebook.
This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault.
Tony D,
Uh-huh.
if anyone wants to be able to find you, where can they find you?
I'm gonna go with Linktree at TonyD.original because I'm in an apartment now. I can't scream my normal scream. Check for previous broadcasts of Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com with Ted Hicks. It's midnight. It's actually damn near 1 o'clock, and I got folks on both sides of me. So Linktree, TonyD.original. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Rumble, my Twitch, my YouTube, all of them are on there. Follow me. Follow the fellas. Appreciate all of y'all. Mike, I fought for you to get up here. I hollered about you for a year, but I'll be damned if you ain't making me change my mind with these long ass Voltronic ass questions that you done brought up here all damn night. We know what gun get up every broadcast last 2 hours. Well, I come on your show for a little bit so we can knock an hour out, but you're gonna make it another hour. But you know what? I'm glad you're around. And I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I met all these dudes through you. So I do appreciate you no matter what. Seriously. Every time I was up there with you, folks came, everybody started following me from the conversations you and I had. So I'm always going to look forward to it, man. I'm going to message you all the time, but I do thank you, man. Appreciate it. Ted, you too. Jojo, you already know what it is. And Brian, I'm going to need you to get a schedule or stop working so much, but I refuse to say you're not making any money. But damn it, we got shows to do. I'll holler at y'all later.
Right.
And we definitely want to thank everyone that was in the check-in on the chat. Appreciate all of you guys that were there. We will hopefully be back on next week.
Set your alarm, Rich. I know you're going to oversleep now.
So you're going to be at the show though on Sunday.
Yes.
And
we do this at once a week, but we're definitely going to be on Sunday's show. And we're going to talk about the stuff that we talk about, football.
Foosball.
Yeah. It's getting traction. It's doing well.
Of course.
It's starting to groove.
I said I will close it out with this. I told Tony he needs to do it all year around and just cycle out different sports. It's fantasy, it's this, it's good talk. I said this thing shouldn't be 20 weeks a year.
He did say that. He did say that.
I love the idea of having other sports.
Yeah.
So and with that, we're out.
I think we could play highlights though of Brian's favorite sport.
End the show because he's gonna keep talking about something else. We holler at y'all next.
Yeah, we're gonna end the show.
We're not doing this slap
2-hour
stuff.
mark,
yeah.
and we can talk in the green room.